Jakey! Hello. Look, Jakey. Hi, hi.
This is my dog, Jackie. At 2 years old, he has become a welcome part of my family. Society has no problem in taking dogs, cats, birds, snakes, and even teacup pigs into their homes as beloved pets. They are kept with love, hoping that nothing unfortunate would ever happen to them. Society has no problem seeing dogs and cats as animals that deserve rights. However, when it comes to other species of animals, we aren't nearly as kind. Pigs, chicken, and cows, three of the main livestock of the United States, do not get the same treatment as our pets do. That's not to say, however, that we should be taking them into our homes as pets. But shouldn't we be looking out for their interests as we do for our pets? Well, I guess the first question is, are we? Increasingly, over the past few centuries, society has become more and more disconnected from the world. As an industrialized first world society, the bulk of the population lives in either suburbia or a city. We live in environments which do not reflect the true world. We live in a world made of metal, concrete, and plastic. Because we are so disconnected, we fail to find any connection with the animals that inhabit this world with us. This video is about the injustices that the human race has done onto the animals that accompany us on Earth. It is about the pain and suffering that we have inflicted onto them in order to satisfy our ever so demanding taste buds. The traditional view of a family farm with barns and sheds is nearly dead. Instead, modern meat production has taken to the form of a factory farm. A factory farm is an industrialized farming unit. Humane treatment of animals is neglected to be trumped by efficiency. In 2010, 34.2 million cows were slaughtered for commercial use. As of last year, there were 96.2 million cattle in inventory. In a 75-year lifespan, the average American is responsible for suffering and death of 11 cows, 32 pigs and sheep, 85 turkeys, 2,570 chickens and ducks. According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, livestock are currently producing more greenhouse gases than our vehicles of transport. In fact, one study showed that one would save 1.5 tons of carbon by switching from a typical American to a vegan diet, and only 1 ton by switching from a typical American car to a fuel-efficient hybrid. The conditions in which the vast majority of livestock live in today is horrendous to say the least. In the past, cow feed used to contain dead cats and chicken manure. Peter R. Cheek, professor of animal sciences at Oregon State University, stated, quote, "If most urban meat eaters were to visit an industrial broiler house, see how the birds are raised, and could see the birds being harvested and then being processed in a poultry processing plant, some, perhaps many of them, would swear off eating chicken and perhaps all meat. For modern animal agriculture, the less the consumer knows about what's happening before the meat hits the plate, the better."
Then I go to my
Political scientist Timothy Catchment wrote about his investigations on modern factory farming in his book Every 12 Seconds. In an interview with the New York Times, he stated, "The sheer volume, scale, and rate of killing, the way the animals form a continuous stream rather than individual creatures, makes it clear that the animals are seen as raw material. Cattle are called beef even while they are alive. And that not only protects people from acknowledging what they are doing and that they're doing it to sentient beings, it's also accurate, a reflection of the process itself." The reasons to care about the pain and suffering are not religiously or emotionally guided by any means. The number one reason why we should care about the suffering of animals is because they can feel pain. We know that they can feel pain because they have a nervous system comparable to that of our own that would allow them to feel physical pain. This is the very essence of conscience. The fact that one can put themselves in the position of the animal and know whether or not they can feel pain is enough to know whether how they are being treated is acceptable. We do this for fellow human beings all the time. Why is it that animals are considered any different? Some may say that it is because we are of higher intelligence, but even humans who are severely lacking in mental abilities wouldn't be treated in the ways that animals are. Some may say that it is in our place at the top of the food chain to be eating animals. While this may be true, we must also ask ourselves if it is necessary when we see plenty of healthy vegetarians and vegans, and moreover, whether being at the top of the food chain permits us to impart such pain and suffering onto the animals. The supporters of the animal liberation movement are a varied group. Many philosophers, actors, religious leaders, writers, scientists, and politicians have been known to support the movement by acquiring a vegetarian or vegan diet. The movement has gained a huge amount of support, however, from the music industry. Musicians have been a part of the movement since the beginning. The Smiths, an English band from the 1980s, made an album titled Meat is Murder. The song in the album captures the brutality of the factory farming world, with bovine screams and the sound of buzzsaws. The Chicago band Rise Against have showed their support for the movement by abiding to a vegan diet. Ozzy Osbourne has also taken on a vegan diet. Tom York, the lead singer of the band Radiohead, is well known to be a vegan on ethical grounds. Brian Bell, guitarist on the very popular band Weezer, is also a supporter of the movement and also abides to a vegan diet. Electronic music producer Moby is also a vegan, and Jason Mraz, pop singer and songwriter, recently claimed that he had started a vegan diet. There are many ways to stop the cruelty of factory farming. One can rally, vote, and be food conscious. The musicians that have taken on vegan diets can be used as models for helping this cause. By taking on a vegetarian or vegan diet, you can wield your purchasing power as a consumer to demand better treatment of livestock. At the least, you can buy from local farms, where you can be sure of the humane treatment of animals. As said by Dr. Seuss in the Lorax, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not.